This church I looked at earlier, wondered where it was. It's now behind me. This looks very new, but very dramatic. But this looks like the church. That little stained glass I showed a moment ago is back through this archway here on the right. Impressive column capitals for a church. Interesting icon, a horse. Here's the wellhead. Look that old. It's pretty though. It's gonna be a scorcher today. I'm already sweating and it can't be past 8 o'clock. Here's an example of some lapidarium stone stolen from somewhere. Borrowed, taken from somewhere. This is pretty, and it looks like it's original, from the original palace. Now the fountain itself may not be, it may be a reproduction or a totally brand new thing, but perhaps this was the function of this site. Interesting, in the prior centuries, older ones, they seem to give an explanation. Here there's just a plaque, man died in 82. A great mix of the new and the old. I think that's the west gate that we're looking at. Through the laundry. I saw this shell of a building, wanted to see more. Sure makes for an interesting exterior to your home, doesn't it? This fountain works if you push the nearby button. Too cool. Used to be covered in vines and flowers, probably. Still makes for a pretty little square amidst what look like ruins over there and remodeling up there. The northeastern portal on the north wall, whether it was always an access, I don't know. I don't think so. From that square look, but who knows? Certainly the walkway or pavement looks authentic. Here I'm looking at a portion of the northern wall with this interesting doorway supposedly suspended on the second or third floor. A curious water feature at the corner of this park, southwest corner, opposite corner from where I first orientated myself. There's more of that wall that protected this area, not part of the palace, but Turkish, I believe, or against the Turkish. So it would have been Venetian. There its matching counterpart, so probably somewhere right along this way was another portion of the wall connecting those two Here we can see there would have been platforms for probably sculptures, maybe great events in Diocletian's life. Interesting framed portals. There would have been two there, with a column there. Whether they opened up like that door does or not. There's a little platform there. Maybe this was for hauling goods up to that second floor for storage. The lady that takes care of the WC in this area was playing a modern version of Stephen Foster's Old Susanna. Elevation drawing of the southern elevation and the coat of arms. This is described as 4 light mullioned windows with angel and family coat of arms on the southern elevation, i.e. right there. Kind of looks like that restaurant we were in earlier, but then if Georgie did it, that one also, that would make sense. An old carriage over there. And here the large well head. Don't know what that sculpture's of. Heavily worn, looks like a lion. This must be the external. And this may be the light mullioned window that they spoke of. Although I don't see how that's the southern exposure, but it may be. That looks like an original window. I wonder who the character up there was. I can't tell which direction this faces, but very elaborate, very pretty. Here a window nearby. And here next to it, if it's not a part of it, another elaborate set of windows and those curious devices for, I think, holding window treatments. Although why would they block just the lower part, except keep their neighbors from looking in and still allow ventilation? Just notice this little fellow in the catbird seat. Keeps himself entertained all day long looking at me. So who's the pet? Me or it? Again, looking at the north wall, I have to wonder what those 4 protrusions were for. Are they new or old? There, a water spout. You can see it up there. Right there. And then with all those same devices for holding a post of some sort. But it looks like it was designed to slip the post in the right side. Let me get up there closer. And then drop the other side of the post down into the left side. What was this area for? Certainly some function. You can see an extension of the wall, perhaps. It may just be a brand new wall. Brand new in some century. Now that I'm done with the castle, or the palace rather, I'm going to walk to my right and just start exploring neighborhoods until the heat burns me out. And here looks like the wall, the defensive wall of the Venetians, not the palaces. I think we're out of that dimension now. There, a crest of something. Got the soldier. And here another on the next major tier, a higher tier. And beneath that, a large frame area that would have held something in the past, a remnant remains. Another portion of that Venetian wall looks like people just build structures right on top of it, probably razzing it down to that decorative level. This is the pedestrian street that I explored the very first afternoon I got here, so we have to keep moving somewhere to get away from all of this. Amazing that people carry that much track with them for probably a week travel. Here an all too modern Christian church built in 1936.